Hey everybody, this is the Justice for All podcast. I'm Randall Latta,
And I'm Gage Gilbert.
and we are going to be talking about a big topic today that's been very popular in the news. It is censorship, and particularly recent events with Infowars and Alex Jones. And then we're just going to talk about what this could lead to and things like that. So, yeah, I know it's been a while. Have you been, Gage?
Oh, pretty good. Just busy with life and everything.
Right. Yeah, me too, man. I just, it's a lot, I've been working a lot lately. I just, time flies when you're having fun,
Yeah, I've been working overtime and all that too.
Exactly.
So it's been a hectic couple of weeks, but
Exactly.
it's good to be back.
Yeah, it is. I agree. And I thought this is very important because, like I said, the topic today is pretty close to my beliefs and fears. So I'm glad you're able to do this, and let's get started. Is there anything you'd like to open up with?
Well, I guess we can start with the background of what we're talking about. So, over the past few days, what happened yesterday or 2 days ago, Facebook, YouTube, and Apple banned Alex Jones's channel, the whole Infowars channel, everything because of their reasoning was hate speech. And originally YouTube flagged a couple videos, like they didn't remove his entire channel at first. They flagged a couple videos where it was, him reporting on Sandy Hook, and there was another one that I forget. But basically, I guess they just decided over the past couple days to just outright ban his channel. So that's one of the topics that we're going to be talking about today. So, Randall, I guess you can go first, giving your opinion on it.
Yeah. Well, so yeah, like if anyone doesn't really know Alex Jones, by the way, I mean, I'm sure by now you've heard the story, but if you don't know who he is, Alex Jones is like an independent, considered right, extremist, like conspiracy theorist kind of guy. He says outrageous things sometimes, and he's really like, I don't know, he just always says outrageous stuff. Sometimes they're true, but some are like, what the hell, dude? But anyway, they do this because I think, so look, man, we're dealing with something pretty unique at this time. I really think what's going on, and, I think, like, people look at this and say, okay, it's just Alex Jones, it's an easy target, and, who cares? But really, it's a stepping stone to, like, okay, now we're in, now we can pick and choose. And I'm kind of torn between this. It is awful. I will say it is awful, and altogether, in my opinion, but we will break this all down. But anyway, what I was saying before is, so once this starts happening, to even people like Alex Jones, and these companies, they believe in, you can say what you want, all that, constitutional rights and stuff. That's what they preach. They are a platform. They're not, they're not content providers. Because if they're content providers, they could get sued for people posting videos that they don't have copyrights for and stuff. So that's not what they want. However, so, these companies, first of all, preach that they are a platform for open speech and all that. Once you start doing these kind of things and limiting people, for a couple things is like, I think they're lying about what they are if they're doing this, and they're not really that. They're really, like I was saying, providing content. Then they're not a platform for people to openly speak. That's not there. So I think they should change the rules, or they should be pressured into actually doing what they're doing, lay off Alex Jones and whoever speak, if that's what you promote. So first of all, they need to figure that out real quick. Second of all, if it might be, it's the right to, as a company, maybe it's the right to do this, but then again, they have to clarify what they're doing. Initially, like what I was saying. Does this all make sense, Gage? Are you still with me? I'm sorry, this is kind of long.
Yeah, no, you're fine.
Okay.
And I was going to bring up too. That is one of the big points from the other side. Is people like you and I supported the NFL's decision to fine fine players for kneeling and stuff like that.
Right.
As a company's right to because they're a business. And now since this is happening, do you think that this is different?
Okay, so
do you think this is the same kind of scenario?
All right, here's where I'm torn, because I would say yes, they have the right to provide whatever content they wish, but they have to be clear what they're doing, because if they're clear what they're doing, then they could be sued and go under immediately. So this is the waters these companies are facing right now, because damn right, Alex Jones's team definitely knows about this. I'm sure some shit's gonna happen. He'll definitely probably get funding to fight this from people. If not, Alex Jones is worth a few million himself. So and then his supporters, I'm sure there's going to be something in court. Now, okay, so once we get past that, okay, we put that all aside. I would say initially, yeah, they have the right as a company to do that. But here's my thing. There's a couple things to this. The first thing is, as what we believe in and what should be true, is you'd hope that the market corrects this, right? There's obviously going to be other platforms that promote. I know we're just kidding around about this, but shit, we should really do this, because shit, all we have to say is like, we will let you say what you want and get out of your way. These guys aren't doing that. I think we get people along. That's simple. You would hope that would happen, but it's easier said than done when these guys control most of the output of the internet. They have way more resources, so I don't know. Maybe the government has to step in to restrict these things, or really come down on them, and maybe they do need to be sued for not doing the right things. Who fucking knows? These are all gray areas, man, because it's new. It's kind of new policies and stuff. Plus, we have old motherfuckers making the rules and enforcing the rules, and they have no clue about the internet. So let's be clear about that as well. So there's a lot of barriers to this problem, but the thing is, it's very unique, because I think they do have the right, whatever, competition. If not, I think lawsuits will get them, whatever. However, as a moral standpoint, they say this is a platform, you can say what you want. They're not letting this man, no matter what you believe in, the First Amendment, you're allowed to say your mind, and it's supposed to be combative with speech. If that's what these people believe in, they're not doing that. And I think regardless if you agree with Alex Jones or not, everybody should have a voice. If there's a Nazi podcast, I would want them to have their voices heard in this country, because my right to our First Amendment is stronger than my hate toward those people, because you're supposed to fight bad ideas with good speech. That's what you do. Not censor people, because these stepping stones next year, you're going to censor fucking, Rush Limbaugh, and there and there. And it's all the same people. They're all on the same side. They think like it's groupthink. And this is George Orwellian, things, man. It's really scary. This is what all these things is. People want to take away their rights. The Chinese definitely own these people. Apple, it's not conspiracy people. These guys are bought out. Trump is president. He's doing good things. They don't want that because they have a different agenda. It's very clear right now. All these people, the tech, all of them. And what's scary? It's not like a monopoly, so they're not doing anything wrong. Maybe it's all great, like I said. But like I said, they're all content providers. They've all grouped together for this clear agenda, and it's crystal clear. And it's like Google, Zuckerberg, all of them. And then you have the guy from Twitter. I like I said, give him props, but they have their problems too. But it's scary because who else is out there? Because they own everything, man. So, and we haven't faced this problem ever in our history as far as with technology and shit. So this is where we're at. Yeah. So I don't know. What do you say? What are some of your thoughts?
Well, I definitely agree with you that it's definitely uncharted territory, because we've never really had to deal with something like this because in the whole scheme of things, Facebook, YouTube, and all that, they're relatively new. They're within, the past decade or so. So, there hasn't really been any laws against, any of these giant, social media platforms. which, I do respect the rights of companies to do what they want to and stuff like that. But whenever, like, your point being that the market can correct itself, I don't necessarily agree with that in this instance, because basically the internet's owned by 3 or 4 companies.
And they're all together. They're all together.
Yeah, it's basically an oligopoly out of Google, Facebook, because Google owns YouTube as well.
Yeah,
and then you have Apple.
And then they're in China.
They've
sold everything to China. Let's be very clear. Apple is essentially Chinese by now.
Yeah, well, you look at it, so you don't really have any competition. And if anybody tried to start up a company, most of the time it's going to fail, because they're just not going to be able to get
the users. Space. Yeah, exactly.
So, like, Facebook owns, Facebook and Instagram. Google owns Google and YouTube. And then you have Apple doing their own thing. And then, like, the only one that hasn't censored him so far is Twitter, which I applaud them for not censoring him, because I don't think it's right to censor him.
No, like I said,
in my personal opinion, I don't think it's right to censor him, even if, I don't agree with a lot of the things that he says, but I think he has the right to say them.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
This is different. This is kind of different from the NFL protests in a way, because these social media platforms are supposed to be for free speech.
Sure.
They're not for anybody to express their ideas. It's not like the NFL, where they're running a concrete business, or trying not to be associated with politics, and they're bringing politics into the mix.
Well,
now,
here's the thing.
You have Facebook, YouTube, and all that. They're supposed to be free speech social media platforms, basically. Now, you can ban terrorism, you can ban,
child
speech
porn.
that's like citing violence and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I think that even the crazy people do have a right to say what they need to say, and anymore people do that through social media.
Yeah, and you're right, and also it's not different from the NFL. I want to go back to that point. And like the NFL, they don't claim anything. They don't have clear rules about this initially or anything. The social media giants and all these internet guys,
they don't brand themselves as like a social,
and
a place to express your opinion.
These social media
Facebook
guys,
and all them do.
They're all like, you can say what you want, regardless. We're not going to get in the way, and they're getting in the way. These people too, like Alex Jones and stuff, they give them money sometimes. It's an exchange of shit. They're allowed to advertise with Alex Jones. They're screwing him completely. It's like, I don't know. It's because like they don't care about what's right or anything anymore, because it's not what they think. And this is the problem. And this is the first step to the end of, American values, the Constitution. And once that happens, it's going to get bloody. Like,
and that's one thing too, is that by banning him, like you said, they're opening up a can of worms.
Here's the thing, though.
Who's next to be banned because somebody's offending somebody or something like that? And it's only one-sided too. You don't see people on the left getting banned.
Exactly. You get them praised. You see them get praised and promoted.
Yeah. You see Roseanne Barr lose her show. You see Alex Jones get banned from YouTube and Facebook. But then people on MSNBC can sit there and say that they hope that Trump's son gets like kidnapped and molested.
Yeah,
and that's fine.
Sarah Zhang
from
from the New York Times, the new editor they just fucking hired, who can say a bunch of racial shit about white people. She keeps her job. But here's the funny thing. You know who Candace Owens is, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so first of all, Sarah Zhang, she's an Asian woman. She's, like I said, she had kind of racist past really toward white people, and she's had tweets. Candace Owens is like a conservative black woman, and she got banned from Twitter because she copy and pasted the Sarah Zhang's tweets and replaced everything about white men with black. And Candace Owens, who's a black woman, got banned for the exact same tweet. Switched white to black, and she got banned. Sarah Zhang is praised. You tell me there's no bias.
Yep.
And it's like,
Well, and that's the same thing. It's the same thing too. I mean, this is really a deeper issue than Alex Jones too, because I've read plenty of reports, and it's mainstream now too that Twitter is going around shadow banning accounts to the point where you can't search for them, and or like they won't pop up in your suggested, so they're losing traffic that way. And it's mainly right leaning speakers, and you're just opening up a whole entire can of worms if you're gonna sit there and ban one side because you don't agree with them, or it's just ridiculous.
yeah, I know. It's overwhelming, man, and it's really I don't have very many words. I would say like, and it's crazy too that the left is not supporting Alex Jones either. I mean, some conservatives aren't either. But when we look back and shit, they got on Trump and us for banning CNN from a press conference once, and we stood up. We stood up for CNN, like, because we think everybody should have a right. Why is it different now that it's Alex Jones and no one?
Well,
they don't want to fight for us.
You see
it's
people
like,
on the left,
clearly.
praising this decision, saying it's the business's right to do so, but yet, they're crying whenever people get fined for kneeling during the national anthem, or Trump kicking somebody out of a press conference or whatever. Which Obama did the same thing, by the way.
Yeah.
He didn't allow Fox News in his press conference, like didn't allow him to ask questions, and Trump's just doing the same thing with CNN. Right. So I mean, it's just all.
Or Brian Skelter the other day.
Shit.
Oh, I got a call and I'm getting threatened. It's like Alex Jones and everybody else, like Ben Shapiro, they get threatened to death threats every day, dude.
Yeah.
There's people that go to like people like Candace Owens and shit and all them and scream at them about them being white supremacists at restaurants. So you got a call. Oh my God, And let's be very clear. The people on our side, as far as like our congressmen and stuff, are definitely not inciting violence like Mad Maxine Waters, So I don't know.
Well,
it's really hard to see.
You look at the congressman shooting last year at the baseball game. You know how much coverage that got? Very little.
Exactly.
Because it was some anti-Trump nut that went and shot up a bunch of Congress people, and like Steve Scalise almost died because of it. And that got maybe a few days of coverage or whatever. But, if Trump tweets something, or some stupid shit gets coverage for like a month, like the Russia investigation or whatever, even though like nobody cares what the media is saying, the vast majority of the time, and polls back these up. I mean, you see the media distrust is at an all-time high.
Yeah, I know.
Because people see through the bullshit. Well, and it's like, and people see the bias and everything else.
Right. Well, and I don't know. To me, it's clear. Again, I think there needs to be lawsuits. We need to figure this out. I mean, whoever the money has to come from to do this, to see where we stand, we need to start either solving this quickly or figure some shit out. But like I said, either one or two things I see being the solution. It's hard for me to say what I believe because, like, exactly what I just laid it out. But again, the two solutions is, one, they need to be clear. Are you a platform that allows everyone to say anything? So that way they can't get sued, because if they provide content, they can clearly be sued for people who post content that they don't have copyrights and stuff like that for. They would go under. So if they say that they're a platform, an internet providing platform, like they say they are, then you will see Alex Jones. He will be able to say what he wants and stuff, because that will be enforced. We need to get people to make a decision on this. If they're not a platform, they're a content provider, they need to buck up and deal with these lawsuits. They're going to lose people. It's going to get really ugly really quick, and then we'll have a new Facebook, a new YouTube, clearly, because the market then would be able to correct itself, because that's their worst nightmare at this point. They're just hoping you're stupid enough to not see a slippery slope. Here's the next move, Gage. I'll tell you exactly what the next move is. They're going to try to censor Fox News. They're going to say Fox News is hate speech. There's going to be too many people say, oh, no. And then they're going to be like, okay, well, in the background, they just cut Alex Jones' throat. They cut all these other people's throats, and you forgot about them. then they'll go, these other independent guys, because that's what they'll do. They'll go to someone bigger next if they succeed with Alex Jones. It will not stop. If you haven't heard it anywhere else, you heard it here first then by now, because this is exactly what's going to happen. Then they're going to censor speech. It's not going to stop there. They're going to get their people back into office, because these ideas will start. It's just bad, people. Wake the fuck up. If you don't know anything, look at least YouTube videos about constitutionalism, where we came from, and how the people that founded this country came up with the things they did, because they escaped the same problems that we're about to face. They're wise enough. History repeats itself. We're seeing that even the good people or good intentioned countries such as ours can fall to terrible ideas and bad people. It's not a conspiracy. I'm sorry. It is not anymore. This is crystal clear. This is exactly what they want to do. They want to censor the ideas that they don't believe in. Our ideas are constitutional. What does that tell you? I am sorry. Wake up. I don't care if, at this point, I don't care if you're Democrat or Republican. We're talking about freedom. We are. This is it's a real issue.
Well, and one of the things, too, that I'm glad to see is, if you check Twitter and all these posts about Alex Jones being banned from the major news networks and stuff, the vast majority of people are actually defending him, even though they don't agree.
Yeah.
You read the comments saying, I fucking hate this guy, but he has the right to say what he says, and shouldn't be banned. And it's who's next?
Right.
And, then they can go after Ben Shapiro because there's freaking riots whenever he goes to UC Berkeley to speak, or, anybody people, like Joe Rogan or anybody.
Anyway,
and,
we will come back on the other side. We have to end the part 1, okay? But we'll pick this right back up. This is Justice for All Podcast, Censorship.